That
Okay.
All right.
4 months ago I have spoke with Cosmic Gate and they said that Trance is coming back. 2 months ago that guy have been in Wrocław and that what I have seen it was like a kind of miracle. Tonight we celebrate first birthday of Epic Club and we couldn't get better present than that. Ladies and gentlemen, Trance family, Markus Schulz. Welcome in Poland.
Dzień dobry. I'm happy to be here. Poland has always been one of the special markets here, for trance music, especially from in the world. So I know it's been a while since I was here before the last show a couple of months ago, and to be here twice, before the summer even begins, I couldn't be happier than being here. So thank you guys for having me.
I have to start from your new album, Watch the World. Can you share with us any funny stories, any funny moments?
Well, the album is a very special album. It took 2 years to make, and what's special about this one is just working with all the different songwriters and singers and crafting the stories, for each song. And it's funny. Each song, I was saying this before, each song has special stories and over the past 2 years, but I think one of the most amazing stories that I've never told anybody, and I guess I can tell, since I love Poland so much, I'll tell you guys, but probably the most amazing story about the whole album was in, I think it was January, I think it was, something like that. I was cleaning up my hard drive that the album was on, so we could send it to mastering, and I wanted to delete a bunch of the older sessions and files that I wasn't using, and I hit select all, delete, empty trash, and I literally deleted the entire album. So the whole album was gone. This was in January, as a matter of fact, end of January, and the last time I had backed it up was in December. So the entire month of February, through my birthday, through Valentine's Day, without anybody knowing, I went back in the studio and I worked day and night on those December backups to get it back to where it was before I deleted everything. So a lot of the tracks I did twice. But I'm happy to say that some of them even turned out better than the first time. That, I guess that's the reason why it must have happened. I guess that was destiny.
Okay, in an interview for Essential Music, you said that as child you wrote a lot. Can you tell me tell me what you wrote?
Well, when I was in school, I used to write a lot of stories, short stories in school, and I had a lot of encouragement from the teachers. They would send my stories around, and I even had one story. I remember there's this restaurant had on the menu would put little short stories and stuff, and I remember one time I had one of my stories put on the menu, so it was kind of cool. But like I said, when I began DJing, I kind of gave up creative writing, and I think that after all these years of producing, I was looking for a new challenge, and to kind of go back to creative writing the stories in the songs. For me, it was really rewarding, really eye-opening to kind of and challenging to do this. And I tell you what, to have an album with my words on it is probably a lot more amazing than having a menu with my story on it.
Last night you played with ATB in Colonia. I have saw your snap, and there was something that caught my attention. ATB played tribute to Paul Van Dyk.
Yeah.
Do you know something about Paul's health? How is he?
Yeah, we're all holding our breath and hoping he gets better. I know that they're very Germans, I'm German. We're very private, so I know Paul and his family are, very private on the matter, and I respect that. So, but I can honestly say that we all, as a community, are wishing the best for Paul, and I'm very proud of everybody to how supportive everybody is and how everybody is rallying their support for Paul. So it's really under these circumstances, it's beautiful to see, and I think that goes to show you just how special us as a trance community, how everybody really is.
When I have prepared to that interview, I asked our friend Mario Rui from Ravers I'm About You, and he told me, ask Markus what is he thinking about EDM, because I love his answer for that. So Markus, I am asking, what are you thinking about?
Well, EDM, you know what, listen, we were all, I think when EDM first, when the whole movement came first, when it first came, I think we were all like kind of excited by, oh wow, there's some new ideas here, and it was very refreshing to just kind of hear these new ideas. So we're all kind of guilty of experimenting, or even kind of like, oh, let's try this as well. But I think everybody realized really quickly how cheap and boring that sound is. I mean, it just like, there's only so much. It just got boring really fast. And it just made us realize just how how special those a well thought out melody, a well thought out arrangement, how special and how timeless something like that really can be. I mean, the EDM stuff just it had a shelf life of like maybe 1 year. 1 year and it was gone. And some of these trance classics have been around for 10, 20 years, It just goes to show you how much depth and how much passion and soul, our music, trance music, how much it really has.
What is the most funny or wired gossip that you heard about yourself?
About me?
Yes!
I don't know. I mean, it's funny. I guess maybe I'll say something that's a little controversial. But when everybody was talking about the ghost producers and stuff like that, I was just like, I just laugh. I mean, it's like I'm on my 6th artist album. I've done over 10 songs. Like this album, I think we've got 17 songs on. So each album has well over 10 songs. So I've made over 75 songs on these 6 albums, and that's not even counting the Dakota tracks. And it's like, I'm just shaking my head, like, how do these things get started, especially these days when, it's not that difficult to produce music, you know what I mean? There's YouTube videos out there that explain how to do pretty much anything. So for me, that's kind of that was one of the funny things, and I never really got into like talking about it. So I think that's for me, I think it's funny that I would even be mentioned in that, considering 6 artist albums and over 75, 80 songs, songwriting and everything. So it's kind of interesting how rumors kind of take on a life of their own.
What do you prefer, to be good or famous DJ?
You know what? This is the way I said this many times. You can be number 1 or you can be a legend. Many people that are number 1 just never become legends because, every year there's a new number 1. But to be a legend, that's something special. So I prefer to be a legend. And I've always, taken my career with that kind of thought of, be classy, make music that's classy. Don't go chasing, like, there's so many people, when EDM was big, they chased after that. Then Future House was big, and now they're making Future House. And now the tropical house and deep house sound is big, and all of a sudden they're making tropical and deep house. And it's like, I've always said, stay classy, make classy music with the style of music that's true to you, who you are as an artist, and build trust with your fans, and that's how you become a legend.
quite recently I have heard a beautiful thing, that trance is for people with big imagination. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, you know, it takes it takes sometimes these songs, like, it takes a minute for you to experience it, to really understand, and that's what makes it so special, because it's not something that's so simple and right in front of you. It's, you have to close your eyes and kind of get lost in it, and then you can really appreciate the art behind it.
What do you see closing your eyes and when you listen to trance? What do you see?
Oh, you know, it's I've always been the kind of person who listens to music and have it be a soundtrack to what it is that I'm doing. So I'll close my eyes and hear a song, and it puts me back to maybe a place where I made that song, or a place where I first heard that song, but something special that I can relate to a certain song. And it just kind of, I'm very nostalgic, you know. So when I hear music, it brings out the nostalgia in me and makes me reminisce over times that have passed, and you know, those special moments that have, you know, that you kind of remember.
I know that you're interested in basketball. Did you watch the last game of Kobe Bryant?
No, I was not able to, because I was in Berlin, and we didn't have it there. But you know, that was interesting. But you know, I watched the unfortunate disaster that was the Miami Heat's final game of the season, where we were winning against Boston by 26, and then we lost by 10, and it was like, oh my God, we scored 5 points in the third quarter. It was a complete disaster. But the playoffs start now, you know, being from Miami and the Miami Heat and having that tradition. I couldn't be more excited. I've never been a Lakers fan. I've never liked the Lakers, so I'm a Miami Heat fan, and so I'm excited about the Miami Heat.
Have you got your favorite basketball player?
Probably Dwayne Wade. You know, you know what I like about Dwayne? He's loyal. He's loyal. He's been with us. He's been in Miami all these years, and he's not going anywhere. You know.
Okay, I want to be loyal to my trans family. And
Loyalty. That's
yes.
Probably the most important word.
Yes, and I have this. This is. Probably you have seen this in Wrocław. It belongs to my friend Lucas. He is one of the biggest fan of trance of you, and he take it to Prague on your set.
Okay.
Can you sign this for Lucas?
Was there a unicorn on the end of this thing at some point?
I think it's on the red part. It's going to be.
Ah, okay. There you go.
Thank you very much. He's going crazy.
For you, Lucas.
And the next thing, my friends Agata and Maciej, for 2 months, they getting married, and they are fourth couple in Poland who takes wedding in a trance style.
Okay.
We connect traditional wedding with trance. And can you give them the best wishes? And I'm going to give this for a present. Thank you so much. Last question. Can I have a photo with you?
Of course.
Proszę zrobić zdjęcie mnie i Markusowi?
All right.